the health and snacks his patience. Oh my god. He's just walking around in a snacks one.
With today marking the beginning of Stage 2, we now have the full slate of Stage 1 matches for the Cologne 2026 Major. So, welcome to the first episode of D-Sports. I will reiterate, this is one of my first rodeos watching Pro CS in a actual dedicated format. So you are not going to see expert analysis here. However, you will learn with me if you are a beginner also. But I'll try my best and I'll get better with time, baby. I think the last major I watched was 2018 Boston. And the majors as of today follow a Swiss-style format in which the seeding for the subsequent stage is based on a play-in on the previous stage. 3 wins and you are through, but if you reach 3 losses before that, you are on a plane ticket home. Very simple. Now, Stage 3 used to feature best of 1 matches, but that has been reformulated to exclusively feature best of 3 matches in Cologne 2026. But they have not afforded Stages 1 and 2 that same luxury. The first day of both stages are defined by best of 1 matches, each team playing 2 of them. Now, a bad day or a shaky start or feeling a little bit under the weather can leave you down 0-2 very, very quickly before you can even blink. It's a gauntlet of a day, and it seems like 1-1 seems to be the optimal position to put yourself in, to be honest. If you go 0-2, it may feel a little bit lost for you, as it is going to be a rather big hole to climb yourself out of. And if you go up 2-0, you might become a little bit complacent in that 2-0 match, but definitively better than 0-2. 1-1, you kind of get the best of both worlds. You still remain a little bit hungry, you don't feel completely out of the rat race, you guarantee yourself a few extra matches to play on LAN and gel with your teammates a little bit more, and you remain perfectly even, untouched from the killer day 1. And it took no time for day 1's killer reputation to start to manifest. The first match of the day was Sinners versus FlyQuest on Ancient. A hard-fought battle on both sides. They went to overtime. The Sinners player Shock had a really nice 4K on B site to keep them in the game. However, they couldn't eke it out ultimately, and FlyQuest pulled out the victory. An upset victory, as most people had FlyQuest going 0-3 in their pickems, and the Australians fucking up your pickems happens once again. And if you didn't have the Australian FlyQuest team in your 0-3, then you probably had Thunder Down Under in your 0-3. This is 5 dudes from Australia who made their own team. This is not even a fucking team. They have Fat Jesus, who is a truck driver or some shit, and you have Dexter, who just works for like Intel. Now, realistically, they should get bent over and fucked by Made in Brazil. Mibr, MIBR, I don't know. But as the game played out, that was not the case. Thunder Down Under pull up a massive upset. ASAP, a rookie from Thunder Down Under in the major, pulled off a pretty nice ace with a 5-7 on B site.
Spotted the next target, but it's
But the highlight was really the entire game, the spectacle that was Thunder Down Under, taking down a tier 1 team with 5 just dudes. Fat Jesus seems to be the light and the truth. Thunder Down Under went to go on and play B8 in their second match of the day, making it a game once again on Inferno against a team that was very heavily expected to go 3-0, losing only 13-11. So it was a loss, but ultimately for Thunder Down Under, they have to be feeling good after those first 2 matches. They sit at 1-1 after the first day. The Sharks joined the Pickems bandwagon and beat Heroic on Nuke in the first match of the day. So in about 2 to 3 short hours, every single pick'em on planet fucking Earth was hurt or fucked. The Sharks lose their second game, Heroic loses their second game as well to Lin Vision, leaving them at 0-2 on the day, Sharks at 1-1. Now, one underdog that stayed true to their word was the Gaming Gladiators. These motherfuckers suck. It was seemingly all 5 of theirs first day on Earth, and they also seemed to know no information at all times. They got 13-1'd by Big, 13-4'd by Bet Boom, making them the most 0-2 team of the major so far. Now, one of NA's many hopes, M80, started their major off with a match against Lin Vision. They fucking destroyed these motherfuckers 13-8, and that is why we are widely considered the best region to play the game. Their second match was against the Sharks, making them 1-1 and putting M80 at 2-0 on the day. By far, the most complete looking North American team of what we have, although that isn't saying absolutely anything. Skins.com is the newest sponsor on our channel. They have just released a P2P trading platform looking to compete with the best players in the space. If you don't want to wait that long, they do have an insta-sell feature on the site in which the rates are the best I've seen, just straight up. When the market is down, everything is on sale. And with the deals you're getting on skins.com, you could start your position basically up 20 to 25%. Try out skins.com and be a part of the future of CS2 skin trading. Which brings us to Liquid. These fuckers suck. Now they lose to Bet Boom, which is really not that big of a deal. Bet Boom was the better team. And they do surprisingly eke out a win on Big, leaving Big at 1-1 and Liquid at 1-1 as well. So really not too bad of a day, considering they probably were the only team realistically that could have gone 0-3 in a day that only featured 2 matches. Bet Boom goes 2-0 with their win against Liquid, and Gamer Legion also finishes 2-0 as well. Gamer Legion did what they had to do against FlyQuest, leaving FlyQuest at 1-1 ultimately, and they beat Energy. Energy then went on to beat Sinners, leaving Sinners as the other 0-2 team so far, Energy at 1-1. MIBR regains against their loss against Thunder Down Under, beating TYLOO, leaving TYLOO at 0-2 as well. Which leaves us with our final results after day 1, with the 2-0 teams being B8, Bet Boom, Gamer Legion, and M80. 1-1 we had NRG, MIBR, Sharks, Thunder Down Under, FlyQuest, Liquid, Lin Vision, and Big. 0-2, no surprise, the Gaming Gladiators. TYLOO surprisingly falls to 0-2, Sinners, and Heroic. And that brings us to day 2. Now, day 2 does feature some BO3s. Any game in which a team can move on or be eliminated is a best of 3. So we start off with the lesser stakes, but definitely important 2-0 matches. The first of which is between M80 and B8. Now, if you just look at the map count, which was a 2-0 in B8's favor, you might think it was a little bit of a landslide, but that could not be further from the truth. Map 2 on Inferno finished 22-20 in B8's favor, making it thus far the longest match of the major by a landslide. There were certainly some ugly rounds that M80 definitely could have capitalized on. However, you cannot leave feeling too bad, as you pretty much held your own against a team that was widely expected to go 3-0, and 3-0 they did. B8 is the first team to move on in the major stage 1. Bet Boom continued their dominance, this time over Gamer Legion, looking absolutely dialed in. But there also was a hint of Gamer Legion looking absolutely lost. Their map on Nuke, we saw countless 2v5s, 3v5s, 4v5s, 3v4s lost by Gamer Legion when they had all of the advantage in their favor and just could not win a round to save their life. Granted, Bet Boom just beat Vitality on Nuke and they looked very good there, but some of these round losses were unacceptable for a team such as Gamer Legion, widely expected to go 3-0. Ultimately, Bet Boom wins the series after another similar showing on Ancient, and Gamer Legion is left at 2-1 and they have to play another game tomorrow. The 0-2 matches are a little bit higher stakes, or higher stakes in theory. Gaming Gladiators play Heroic. Now, Heroic has looked like shit, but even Heroic looking like shit made Gaming Gladiators look like a bunch of kindergartners. That's because I'm pretty sure they are 5 kindergartners that are in some type of plastic adult body suit. These guys fucking suck. I could have played better. I'm being serious. I think they won 2 rounds on 4 maps or some shit like that. Who cares? On the bright side, they get 0 sticker revenue now. Go the fuck home. TYLOO finally get that chip off their shoulder, going 1-2 against Sinners, leaving the 2 0-3 teams, Sinners and Gaming Gladiators, out for stage 1. The 1-1 matches, nothing too notable here. MIBR beat Liquid. Liquid suck, we know this. NRG beat FlyQuest. So we got 2 2-1 NA teams. Big beats Thunder Down Under, and Lin Vision beat the Sharks. Again, nothing too notable in terms of what happened in these matches, but they do set up our matchups for it tomorrow. And it starts with Big versus Gamer Legion in the 2-1 matchup. On the first map, Big surged back after a rough T side on CT side, even getting a pretty sneaky, cheeky ninja defuse to really shift the momentum in their favor. They wind up forcing overtime on this map, but ultimately they couldn't eke it out, and Gamer Legion win map 1, map 2 in a much more convincing fashion, and Gamer Legion has moved on at a 3-1 record. M80, who looked like the best, most complete NA team, prove it even more so playing against their other NA rival, NRG, winning 2-0 map count and moving on 3-1. MIBR do the same after that first shakeup against Thunder Down Under. They beat Lin Vision pretty convincingly, moving Lin Vision down to the 2-2 final matchups, and MIBR moving on as the last 3-1 team of the day. Now, the 1-2 games don't necessarily guarantee you moving on, but they guarantee you not going home tonight. Liquid looked like a team for a fleeting moment in time, beating Heroic 2-0 in a pretty convincing fashion. They looked very confident, very, very good, very well oiled out there. Heroic finished 1-3, beating Gaming Gladiators, so 0-4. TYLOO crawled back against all odds to go 2-2 and put themselves in a do-or-die situation. Yes, they beat Sharks, who probably shouldn't have been there in the first place, but for 5 rookies, definitely can't complain about Sharks' performance. It looks like they have a bright future for those guys in that core. The last match is a little bit of a heartbreaker. It's a derby between the 2 Australian teams, FlyQuest and Thunder Down Under.
Right, boys, you can shake hands, fist bump if you want. Let's get things underway. Sorry. Oh, bloody hell.
First match was a bright spot. Thunder Down Under made it a game on Anubis, which was FlyQuest's map, but the rest of the second map on Inferno was pretty grim. They looked completely outclassed, and FlyQuest will move on to the 2-2 matches tomorrow. Now, the first match of the day was between TYLOO and Lin Vision, so another derby, but this time between the 2 Chinese teams. This was basically the same thing as the Battle of Australia, but it was less fun, less charismatic, less trash talk, less entertaining, etc. TYLOO bitch Lin Vision, who fumbled a 2-1 record to finish out 2-3, go home. TYLOO finished the reverse sweep, going from 0-2 to 2-2 to 3-2, and now in stage 2. FlyQuest make Liquid look like a bunch of clowns, but that's not really hard to do when they already are clowns. They fucked them up on Anubis.
Especially in a 4v5. So it's already talking shit like it's Thunder
They
Down Under.
fucked them up on Inferno. They clinched the match with 5 Glocks. I can't believe they get paid to play this fucking game. They make the North American schooling system look genuinely bad, and that's hard to do because we already have not a great reputation. And then the match you've all been waiting for, motherfuckers. Big vs NRG. Now, some are saying this is the best match of stage 1, but it's really going to go down as the best match in 2026, and the best match in a major, the best match in Counter-Strike 2, maybe the best match in Counter-Strike. It may be up there when it's all said and done. It starts out pretty normal, big win Dust 2 pretty convincingly, and map 2 on Nuke. NRG surge back, force overtime, and win the map ultimately, putting them 1-1, where they will decide on Mirage. Now, NRG have looked surgical on Mirage all major long. That's the NA DNA coming out. And they pick up right where they left off. They start on CT side, they go up 5-0, then 6-0, then 7-0, then 10-0, and then 12-0. A shutout on the CT side for NRG, leaving Big with essentially no hope going into their CT side. They're smiling, they're loose, all they have to do is win one more round. They'll win one more fucking round, right? Wrong. Big win pistol round, then the anti-eco, then they don't stop. Their closest round was a 1v2 by Favin on Big, who looks like that dude from Recess, and their tone shifts very quickly when they realize we can actually do this. 12 rounds in a row. First time in major history, a shutout on one half becomes a reverse shutout on the other half. At this point in time, 0 round wins were on the T side. All 24 round wins were on CT side. Caster says it plainly, if they do not pull this out, this will be the worst choke anyone has ever seen, and they were completely right. But once it got to overtime, the game was already over. They were just playing those OT rounds for optics sake, because if you lose 12 rounds in a row, you're not fucking winning overtime. Big take the first 3 rounds. 15-12, all 27 rounds again on CT side. NRG get one last round on the CT side to finish it off and hopefully make it go to OT2. Nitro is sitting in a corner, a absolute god spot gifted to them by Big on behalf of them not checking their corners properly. But the shock has already set in, the nervousness got to him, and he whiffed every single motherfucking player. Big kill him, Big clear the site, Big plant the bomb, Big nades the last guy, and Big win 16-12. North America just got 16-0'd in a game which you need 13 rounds to win. And Valve got the best souvenir ad they could have possibly fucking gotten in the history of their goddamn life. That was the most watched match of the entire stage, and for very good reason. And that, my friends, is why they don't end the game after you go down 12-0. A true testament to Counter-Strike being a mental game ultimately and truly. That's Counter-Strike, baby. See you in stage 2.